Joining us now is Chris Rudy. He's the chairman and CEO of NewsMax. Hey, Chris, great to have you with us.
Well, John, with that introduction, what I don't even need to come on. I just need to take a bow. I think, well, the president, you're absolutely right. Fox News is not what it used to be, and it's very sad the president used those words. I mean, you can't talk about George Soros. Newt Gingrich, the House Speaker, was reprimanded by two hosts that nobody ever really knows. Dick Morris said that Victoria Tensing, Joe DeGenevo, that they were all asked to not go on Fox anymore if they ever talk about George Soros. NewsMax is not afraid to do that. Fox confirmed the story that the president called our troops, dead servicemen, suckers and losers, which even General Kelly's chief of staff, a guy named Zach Fuentes, said was a lie. So, you have to wonder what is going on at Fox. And I'll tell you, NewsMax stands with our president. And I think that's why our ratings are booming. We're up to 10 million people. We were just at 3 million a few months back. And a lot of people are tuning in. They don't even need cable, which is amazing. You can go on all these free devices or on your app. Just download the NewsMax app from your smartphone. And people are they're voting with their feet for NewsMax.
Well, here's what you've done, Chris Rudy. You've done three things. Number one, you've created a news and information cable channel that's straight up, that's not going to be afraid of going against George Soros, not going to be putting their finger in the wind, trying to judge who might win the next election, not fear of some advertiser getting upset because something that someone says. So that's number one. The second thing you've done is you've been able to have the visionary foresight to break the mold and put this on free formats. A lot of people are afraid to do that because their revenue comes from the cable subscriptions. But you're ahead of this. That's going away eventually, right? People are going to just stop paying for that. Eventually, you're on the free platform. Your viewership is going up. And the third thing you've done is, Chris, at the end of the day, content is king. You've got great content. And so you've kind of, to me, you've figured out the trifecta here. That's why you guys are so unbelievably successful.
Well, when you look at it, Fox News owns half the cable news market. It's the only thing on the right side that's a major player. Newsmax is now emerging quickly in that area. And you're right. There's a lot of Fox is not free on all these free platforms. Newsmax is. We're getting about 8 million viewers a month, according to the data, on all these free platforms. So we're well superseding Fox there. So we're becoming, I think, we're a juggernaut. And I think the problem is, there's so many liberal channels. Think about all the major networks, all the major cable channels. There's 11 cable news and information channels, even comedy channels, a news channel now for millennials. And that's all liberal. They're all liberal except for Fox and Newsmax. And Fox is going the way of a lot of other channels. So, I think the country's better served with more voices, not less. And that's why Newsmax TV has been, I think, just growing like crazy.
Your revenue model is sustainable for the future, which is you want traditional advertisers. Advertisers want to be involved in order for their ads to serve up. And so, you don't get the revenue, the subscription revenue when it's free, but you're going to get the ad revenue pouring in because people want those kind of numbers. They want to be able to reach that audience. That's the same model that we have. Everybody said, look, same thing when I started this on a tiny little scale, everybody said it would fail. You couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. You have paid subscriptions, you had to do all this stuff, you had to get outside money, donors. Look, if you do the right thing, advertisers will come because they have one interest. They want to sell services or their product, and they can do that if you can get people to watch. That's what I think you guys have done.
Well, and we have Newsmax magazine. I might add, if anybody, they call 800 Newsmax, they can also get a free copy of the new book, Blitz, which is David Horowitz's book. As you know, this is the best book. President Trump calls it the hot book of the election season. Horowitz is, as you know, a former radical liberal. He's a Jewish thinker. He's a radical liberal. He's become conservative. And he's predicting Donald Trump is going to win a landslide. He predicted the riots over the summer in Blitz. He said that they were going to start up a race war before the election. It all happened. He said they're going to go after our national monuments. It happened. And he is saying that this election is the most pivotal election in our time. Now, interestingly enough, David Horowitz, who's a New York Times bestseller, I know you've had him on, a lot of other people have. the Fox News won't touch them. NewsMax has them. That's why we're promoting this book, Blitz. And with NewsMax magazine, you can get it for free at 800 NewsMax.
We're live in New York City today. You've got a big studio here. Tell us a little bit about your plans in New York City and how's your team been able to react to the shutdown, the pandemic, and everything else going on, Chris?
Well, our headquarters for TV is in New York. It is booming up there for us, even though the rest of New York is quiet and silent. As you know, the mayor does not want to put the city back online because he thinks it helps Trump. There's no other explanation. There's very hardly any COVID. The restaurants even aren't open indoors yet. I mean, it's really crazy stuff going on. And NewsMax, our team has been operating through the pandemic, and we've been breaking a lot of stories. Our ratings have been going up, and we've been covering the coronavirus well beyond any of the other major networks. We have medical docs all the time talking about the best safety issues, giving people both sides on some of these stories they're getting. Sweden has had a tremendous success, and they never started masking everyone in society. They never went into an official lockdown. They never closed bars, restaurants, or cafes. They took normal conservative steps with social distancing, other public health steps. And their numbers are lower than most of the other numbers in Europe. So it shows you that this is like a lot of hype that's been pushed by the media, and people need to be careful because it does affect older people. There needs to be sensitivity to that. But if you're 40 years old in good health, you don't have anything to worry about with this virus.
Chris Rudy with us. One more thing here, Karen, then we'll get to the end. Chris, what is in between now and January for NewsMax? What's your number one objective? What do you want to see happen with your
I think
your
right
company?
now the number one thing is give the American people the truth they need in this election. And we don't have to be pro Donald Trump or anti Donald Trump or Biden. We just need to tell the truth because Donald Trump has an incredible record. Our cover story for October in NewsMax magazine, which is read by about 500,000 people, is Promises Kept. It's a picture of Donald Trump. No other president has fulfilled his campaign pledges like this president. And I think he wants to get the job done in the second term. I think he deserves a second term.
Chris Rudy, Chairman, President, CEO, NewsMax Corporation. Go to NewsMax TV. Go to newsmax.com. Hey, Chris, thanks for being with us live in New York City today. Special
John.
edition Steve Bannon coming up 6 p.m. Chris, thanks for all you do, man. Thank you.
All right. Say hello to Steve. Bye, John.
You got it.